gonna take her next. Oh, are we on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're back.
Why don't you wait for the people to join?
Wait for the people to rejoin. Cause we'll talk about what we want to have for a snack later. In the meantime, like, it's Thursday night, which means Thursday night is time to eat special foods like chocolate chip cookies, perhaps brownies, perhaps banana bread. We wait until Thursday night to cook anything that tastes too good, because otherwise we eat it all week. So Thursday night, especially in this time of homestay, is like the new Friday night around here.
You have 2 people.
Ooh, we've got some folks. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We were a little bit derailed this evening by our very lovely, very beautiful but special needs dog who had special needs. So we had to step away for a few moments to take care of that. And now we're back. If you know Betty, please send her some love. She needs some right now. Let's see. We're off to not the best start for our live stream of all time. We spilled wine all over.
Yeah.
And then we had to take a little break and step away. So that's okay. Tonight we're
coming in hot, 16 minutes late.
We're 16 minutes late, but it is actually a great show tonight. I know I say that every week. Every week's a great show, but
right,
tonight
let's get into it.
It's a really great
Let's
show
get into it.
because we're doing braising. We've talked about sautéing. I don't know, no poo face. Come on, it's better than that. We talked about sautéing. We've talked about searing. We've done deep frying. We have done all of these different. We did steaming. We've done all these different cooking techniques, but we haven't done braising. Braising is really just a fancy word for cooking with a combination of heat and moisture and time. It's really the only things you need. You need a stove where you can create heat, where you can sear something. You need moisture, and then you need time. And we're going to talk about how those 3 things come together tonight. And the way that we're going to do it is by doing chile verde, which is braised pork shoulder. Whenever you see chile verde on a menu, unless it's called like chicken chile verde or something like that, something else, you should just assume it's pork. It's absolutely delicious. I made you a special version earlier that's completely different that we'll share at the end.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so let's get into it. So the things that we need for chile verde are cubed pork shoulder. You can cut it up yourself if you buy a whole pork shoulder. That's a lot. This is about a pound, which is more than enough for 2 people. And then we're actually going to do it in tacos. And wait, before I do that, let's talk about the other ingredients. So we've got avocado, obviously, sour cream, onion, some cooking oil. I'm just using canola oil tonight because I'm going to cook this really hot. Some garlic and some cilantro. Over here we've got our tacos and our cheese. We're doing chile verde tacos tonight. This would be considered a guisado, which is the Mexican term. In Mexican cooking, it's the term for a stew. It's like you can have asada tacos, which are grilled tacos, and that's what we're used to when we go to a taco stand or whatever and order carne asada. But there's a whole world of guisado tacos as well, which are stewed tacos, and stews are braises. Pot roast is a brave. Beef brisket stew is a braise. Chicken cacciatore is a braise. All of these things are this cooking method that we're learning now. So the first thing that we need to do when we're braising almost anything is to sear that protein on high heat. So I'm going to take my saute. I'm going to put it on high.
The saute.
An avio saute, of course.
Okay, good. Just
an avio saute. Yes.
Is that what else are we using today? Just so I could get it set up if I was home.
This is also amazing. Braising is amazing. Braising is amazing. It rhymes. You're less entertained than I am.
Well, you earlier missed the opportunity for a time joke, so.
I did?
Yeah. I know. I was happy about it.
Braising is amazing because you can do it with really, really, really cheap, inexpensive cuts of meat. Not because they're bad, but because they're really tough. And because they're really tough, you can't sell them, or grocery stores can't sell them as like a steak. So they end up becoming stew meat. like your pork shoulder or like your beef stew meat. And as a result of that, the best way to cook them is to cook them really low and really slow for extra long periods of time. It breaks down all the connective tissue and it makes them really, 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 really delicious. I know you didn't like me explaining it that way, but it's true. That's what's happening. It's food science. Okay, so we need to sear this meat first, and then once we've seared it... Oh, we're missing an ingredient tonight. Salsa verde. We're going to sear it. We're going to pull it off. We're going to saute briefly garlic and onions. Then we're going to put the meat back in. We're going to add our salsa verde, and we're going to cover this, and we're going to let it sit for a very, very, very long time. The longer, the better, generally. So that's my vegetable oil. That's going in. This is going to be super hot tonight. We're definitely at mess level, at least 5 or 6, with the potential for oil splatters. So I might just use the lid a little bit here to kind of contain the madness.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I do clean the kitchen on Thursdays, and then usually by the end of the live stream, all of my good work is gone, and then we live Thursday night through the following Thursday afternoon in the normal state of not as clean. Okay. Cubed pork. Hot. Told you we're going in and it's really hot. I'm going to just spread this out a little bit so that all the pieces have space. And then I'm going to salt. And then I'm going to cover, make a little bit less of a mess, and I'm going to let that sit. And the reason I want to let that sit is because I want the meat to brown, at least on one side, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to let it brown a little bit on the other side, and then I'm going to pull it off. Probably doesn't need to be this hot. I probably could have made like a little bit less of a mess, but it wouldn't be audio live stream unless there was excessive mess making happening. While that is going, what else?
Is there a reason you didn't put the lid on fully?
Yeah, I don't actually want this to steam to cook. I want it to sear. I'm just putting the lid on partially because I'm trying to keep oil from splattering everywhere. This could, yeah, I think a pro would probably object to my use of the lid at all here because it's like keeping moisture in and causing it to steam. But
someone who appreciates the clean kitchen would not object.
Yeah, someone who would appreciate the clean kitchen would not object. Other things I could have done would have been potentially use a little bit less oil, potentially.
Don't you have that oil?
And then I have, oh yeah, we have this. So this guy's kind of nice, like for covering and letting steam escape, but not allowing oil to go everywhere. Of course, I didn't think of that. So here we are. So this, like when we did the searing of chicken a long time ago, I think we've done this a few times. We did it with fish. Our whole big thing is once we put it in, we don't touch it because we want it to get a crust. The same thing is true here. So let's just have a quick check. I'm going to touch one. We can see it's just starting to brown, which is great. That's exactly what we want. I'm going to bring a little guy over. That's the nice crust that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and put these. Yep. This does not need to cook all the way through. In fact, I don't want it to cook all the way through because I don't want it to become tough. Now, all I'm doing is getting that nice sear on both sides, and then I'm going to pull it off and put my onions and garlic in, and then it's going to actually finish cooking over the course of the next, 3 hours while it's braising. But you don't have to wait 3 hours because it turns out we got another special surprise over there in the corner, and we get to skip to the good stuff here in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and take this off. These are good. Delicious, 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 delicious. I'll put my onions in and then I'll bring this over so everyone can take a look. So we're doing the onions next. We just want those to saute for a couple minutes here and start to get translucent. But again, we don't want them to brown. My heat might be a little bit high. Let's get that going. Same pan. This is all one pot recipe, so super easy. This is what pork looks like after it's been seared. We're going, again, very, very hot for a short period of time. These onions will be done in 1 to 2 minutes. What's everyone's favorite type of taco? This is an important question because we're doing tacos that people probably don't think of as tacos normally tonight. We're doing the stew style tacos. But I feel like, at least here in the U.S., we get a lot of like al pastor, we get a lot of carne asada, we get fish tacos. But what do the people like while we're doing onions over
like
here?
Fish tacos. I'll start this.
The G requests fish tacos
I always
Friday nights.
Yeah. Fish on Fridays.
Fish on Fridays with margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guac. Like appetizer guac. And then guac. Also main course fish taco
and then
guac.
A dessert guac.
Potentially. If there was a way. But you don't, but shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, you don't like that avocado ice cream.
I don't like the avocado ice cream.
Okay.
My husband says al pastor,
okay.
But definitely ahi tacos.
Ooh, ahi. A little bit extra oil there. All right, these onions are looking good. I'm not going to pick that up because that's probably pretty hot right now. Oh, but wait. But wait a minute. I can use my Avio hot pad.
Wow. You going to bring that over too?
Yep. Look at those onions.
Those look nice.
Starting to become a little bit translucent, but not brown, not too brown, because we don't want to overcook them. I'm going to make a little well here for the garlic. I didn't want to cook the garlic quite as long because I don't want the garlic to burn. I just want the garlic to become a little bit fragrant. I have a tendency to overcook garlic, and then it tastes a little bit burnt, which is not what we're going for here. We're going for lively, fragrant garlic. Fish. What else?
We're not getting a lot of response.
Not a lot of love.
So what's your favorite taco?
I like all the tacos.
Well, if you had to pick.
I like al pastor. I really, really, really like the al pastor tacos.
Could you describe that for those of us who maybe don't know what it would be?
And have not lived in LA, perhaps?
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay, so they take pork meat and they put it on a spit with a whole bunch of seasonings and spices. And a lot of times, actually, there's pineapple that's roasted on the spit with the pork also. And then it's cut off in slices, almost like kebab. In fact, I think I could be very wrong on this, so please no accusations of cultural appropriation. But I believe it was influenced by Lebanese food, and it was started in Mexico. But it's like a more modern interpretation of the taco with Lebanese influences that actually did come from Mexico. So if you think about kebab and you think about like all the shaved lamb and stuff on the spit that you'd find in a lot of Middle Eastern cuisines, I believe that's where the inspiration for al pastor came from as well. And it is so good. It is my favorite.
And is there like a sauce on top of that, or is it kind of like drier?
No,
like
usually it's not. It's usually has lots of moisture in it, and it is served with all of like the typical tacos. Like you go to any taco stand in LA, and you can get it with rice and beans in a burrito. You can get it on a taco with cilantro and lime and all the other normal fixings.
Put guac on it?
Yes. Let's ask the question. Is there anything you would not put guac on?
Oh, I don't know. It's a hard question.
We're putting the pork back in now. Now that we've got the onions in a good place and the garlic, both fragrant. Should have opened this before the live stream. So you can make your...
Why don't you finish this up?
We have another crisis here. I'm going to stay with us. Stay with me here. Stay with me here. Okay, so you can make your own salsa verde. It's pretty simple. What you need are tomatillos, patience, hot water, and salt. And that's pretty much it. You can do onions and garlic too. You take the tomatillos, you put them in a stock pot. You boil water in a stock pot. You put the tomatillos in, you dehusk them. When you put them in the hot water, the skin on the outside of the tomatillo will come off really easily. Then you can sear the tomatillos in a saute pan for a few minutes until they start to get a little bit brown on both sides. Then you take the tomatillos out of the pan, and they'll be like a little spongy and soft at this point. And you put them in, you can either do an immersion blender, you can put them in a regular blender, you can put them in a food processor. And with, again, the salt and the garlic and the onions, you basically have tomatillo salsa. Not very complicated. I'm cheating tonight, though, and I'm just going to use the classic Herdez salsa verde mild that you can basically find at any grocery store and costs like, 75 cents a can. So I'm now holding the phone and doing this at the same time, though. This could get interesting. Let's see. Just flip this around. Let's go the one hand. I don't have a tripod. I really should have a tripod for this. Hold, please. We're putting this down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's right. We don't want to be slicing off fingers or impaling ourselves in any other way. Now we have a can of open Herdez tomatillo salsa that can now go in our saute pan with our chicken, onions, and garlic like this. All we got to do is bring this to a boil, which this is going to happen really fast. Really fast. Wow. And then we're going to put a lid on this, and we're going to let it sit for about, at least 2 or 3 hours. The longer it goes, the better. The best part about braising is that you really can't screw this up, because if you try it and it still tastes tough, then you just need to add a little more liquid and cook it longer. And if you try it and it tastes amazing, then it's done and you're ready to eat. So that's going on low. Putting our lid on here. And now for the second part of our demo, we're going to actually assemble some tacos, because it turns out we made another batch of these earlier in the day. So let's come over here and let's take a look at what we did earlier today. That is chicken chile verde. Based on personal preferences, not all of us in the house love pork. So this is basically what happens when you do this over here and you cook it down for like 5 hours. Do we have this on the lowest heat setting? Yes. I have this on barely on, and in fact, if I were going to leave this on the stove for a really long period of time, I'd move it back to here to my smallest, heating element, and put it on simmer. Like, you want this to barely be bubbling. And then after like 4 hours, it looks like this. The chicken has absorbed all the tomatillo, all the water has cooked off. I tried this earlier. This tastes so freaking good, and this is going to be an incredible taco. So now I need to see if I have an opportunity here to set this phone down again. I really haven't planned this one out very well. Let's do some chopping. And some avocado cutting, among other things. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Woo! Oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. That is a precariously placed iPhone on the edge of a cabinet door handle. Let's see how this goes. All right. Need to cut up an avocado. Need to chop some celery. Already got some sour cream out. We're good to go. The avocado trick. Come in from the top or the bottom, doesn't matter. Come in with your knife, find the pit, all the way around the pit, like this, so you don't mangle it. Now, 2 halves of the avocado, twist one direction and the other. Ah, and now, how do you get this bad boy out? Because if you dig at it, you're likely, again, to mangle your avocado. We will not mangle our avocado. We take this, we take the knife, we crack the knife into the pit, we twist, we fail, we do it again. Avocado pit out, clean, magic. Now, I want to make lots of little pieces because I'm going to put these on my tacos, obviously. So, I'm going to run my knife down the center of the avocado very, very, very gently because I don't want to go all the way through the skin. I'm making these lines in it. Sorry, I'm not very good at this whole like demonstrate for the camera thing. You see all those lines in the avocado now? Wow. Okay, cool. Now we got to go the other way because I want to make little cubes. So let's go like this. Let's go like this and like that and like that. That. I'll show it to you. Don't worry. I'll show it to you. All right, cool. Now you have basically an avocado grid. Awesome. And when I scoop with a spoon this out, it's going to make all these perfectly little square pieces, which is going to look really freaking good on my tacos. Very excited about that. All right. What else do we need? I need to put my tortillas in the oven to get warm for a second. So those are going in the oven on broil. Start broiling those bad boys on high. Got to go check in on the family here for a sec. Okay. Let's take a look at our cilantro. I can't really do this with one hand, but I'm going to show you how I bunch it like this. And I use the claw all at the same time to keep the pieces together. And then that's going to allow me to run down it and cut it up without losing errant pieces of cilantro all over the place. So, phone's going down for a moment or back onto our handy stand over here. Boop, 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 boop. There it is. There it is. Cool. All right, cutting cilantro. Wow, you didn't get to see that, but I promise it was really impressive. Look at that. Beautiful cilantro, beautiful avocado, beautiful sour cream. We have our cheese over there. We've got our chicken chile verdes, good to go. Got our tortillas warming up in the oven right here. Those are almost warm. We just need a plate. We're going to plate one. We're going to do this. It's going to be delicious. I am actually kind of a big fan of these. I know it's kind of sacrilege because I probably should be using corn or I should be making my own. These Mission gluten-free tortillas are actually pretty good for celiac-friendly households. Pretty good. So tortilla, chicken. Wow. All right. Now we need... Clearly, we're going to need a lot of cheese. We're going to need a lot of avocado. We're going to need a lot of sour cream. We're going to need all these things. So let's do a little cilantro next. Don't know what order to do this in exactly, but then we'll do... Let's bring our avocado over here. Get some of that on there. Yeah, I'm using my finger like a savage. Nothing to see here, folks. A few little pieces of avocado. Okay. Maybe some sour cream down the side, perhaps. A little more sour cream down the side. And cheese on top, and we're going to call this a day. Hold one moment. Have to find another place to perch the phone. Cotija cheese, love it. It's salty, it's sharp, it's perfect for tacos. Pretty commonly available at grocery stores now too. I really like it. So highly recommend Cotija cheese for your tacos. Put that on top. And we are just about done this evening. Let's flip this camera around one more time. Sorry guys for the jumping around on the cameras here. Look at that. Classic question as always is, would you eat it? Certainly hope the answer is yes. Hope you guys enjoyed our live stream tonight. We're going to call it a little bit early. We've got some delicious tacos to eat. Probably some margaritas or other things to make. Glad you're enjoying it. And we'll see you guys next week.